Hi, everyone. I'm Sondra Kellogg. I am here with my colleagues, Melissa Kitto and Kristina Coll. And we wanted to, the three of us, just have a chat with you and tell you more about the retreat that we have coming up, to really give you more of a feeling for it, to help you tune into the energy of it. I know for me personally, I love seeing and hearing rather than reading about things. So this is kind of our purpose, as well as to maybe just give you a little bit of takeaways for yourself today that you can work with. It's a pretty challenging time for all of us right now. I think that's safe to say. And yeah, it's just something that we want to continue to, I guess, give to you as a bit of a gift for you to be able to receive at your in your own timing, and to be able to work with in your own timing. Our retreat is broken up into three kind of distinct sections, and the purpose of that is that it all integrates together. There's an organic flow, but there is a unique thing that we focus on within each one. And the first one is returning to you. That's what we've titled it, because it is really all about coming back to the reality that I am energy, first and foremost, that I am an eternal being. I cannot be created. I cannot be destroyed. And that's something I feel that a lot of people really resonate with already in this day and age. It's not necessarily a new concept, but it is a challenge to implement sometimes. It's a challenge to really embody that reality. In this time when there's so much pressure going on, when there's so much fear, when there is a lot of uncertainty for so many people, I know for me it's easy to get caught up sometimes if I don't really come back to that space of, whew, okay, I am limitless. I am totally free. There is no end to me. I cannot be created. I cannot be destroyed. I just continue on. And if I come back to that when I am feeling pressure, when I am getting caught up in the swirls of society, when I am getting caught up in the worries and the fears, then I'm able to come back to that place. And it's not necessarily that anything that I'm doing will change, but it changes how I feel inside. And it changes, it has then that subtle ripple effect to where now I'm back in my groove. I'm back in my flow. I'm back in that feeling of joy and fulfillment and light. And everything else is just a little bit smoother. Again, it doesn't mean my decisions will necessarily be different. They might, but I won't know if I don't come back to me. I don't have that sense of trusting in myself, which is something that we really work with a lot in our retreat. We work with a lot in all of the Way Showers College techniques and courses that we teach, is really about trusting yourself. And how do I trust myself if I don't know myself and if I don't tune into myself? So I want to show you an energy technique that is something that's just to help you really come back to you and come back to that kind of buffered state. I know I live now, I used to live in New York City. I have recently, well, actually about a year ago, moved out. And that was something that I innately trusted inside, that was an important decision for me to make. And now in hindsight, I'm really glad that I did, because there's much more space. There's much more feeling of being able to, no pun intended, but to breathe and just to be. And I know it would be a different environment for myself, my husband, my daughters, if we were still living in the same place we were living. So being able to, even though everything felt chaotic at the time, making the decision to move, and it even felt like it was being caused by external circumstances. But when I really took the time to come back to me and to really tap into my inner wisdom, then I knew that it was the right decision. And now intellectually, I know it was the right decision. But I just briefly, I want to tell you, I went back into New York City recently, and maybe a month or two ago, and I felt the energy there, and the energy was heavy. And for those of you who are there, you know that it's alive, that city. And it didn't feel that way. And I could feel myself starting to really get sucked into that. And I had to stop and go, okay, how am I anchoring to this energy right now? My thoughts started going to the sadness of things getting shut down, of, all of these things that I was so used to. And now it was not the same. And I needed to be able to take hold of those thoughts, find that inner pivot point again, and be able to be a light for the environment rather than being pulled into the darkness. And that's so important. It's so important that we're able to do that. And without being conscious of who I am and being able to come back to that inner pivot, it just has the opposite effect. The ripple then goes inward rather than going outward. I'd like to pass it to Kristina to add anything you'd like to add about kind of coming back to you, and how do you do that? What does that mean to you? What is important to you that really helps you stay connected with that?
For me, it's just knowing that I am powerful, and it's my choice how and when to take control of myself and my beingness, and really knowing that I can embody that peace and fulfillment and happiness, that it's never from outside of me. It is in me. So with these tools and techniques that we share with you throughout the retreat, they are things that you can take with you and utilize on a daily basis to really help you come back to that center when you are feeling pulled in other energies, or being imposed on by other energies, or just a sense of, navigating, hey, I even have the power to bring my light into an environment that the energy might be low and I need to be there. So guess what? I can be the shapeshifter. So it's just knowing that we're powerful, very powerful. And so just to really stay in my energy is very important. And with two small children, sometimes it's challenging because, kids. And so it's even more so taking that time to, even if it's to like go into another room or go outside and get a fresh breath of fresh air, or just sitting with them, putting them on my lap and breathing energy into myself and into them to calm them down or shift the energy in the environment. Very important. Yeah. Melissa, do you have anything else to share?
Yeah, I think the thing for me is having a strong inner pivot point. And I know that some people don't relate to that language. So really when I say that, I mean, it's feeling relaxed and peaceful and clear and solid inside. And there are times when I get thrown off that, either by stuff going on in my personal life or things hitting the environment. And back in the spring, when we first were sort of told to lock down, it was challenging for me to have to cancel a lot of things that I had planned, and to have to deal with my son being home from school every single day when I'd counted on that to get work done, and all those changes that we were all going through at the time, whatever that looked like in your life. And I really decided that the things that I do for my self-care would have to be the number one priority over everything else. And so that I can have that, when I feel peaceful and strong inside, then I can be there for others and I can do my business. But when I don't, it's so counterproductive, right? So if you guys don't know those tools to come back to your true feelings and feel really good and positive inside, and one of them honestly is regrouping, right? Having somebody where I can just relate to and share what I'm going through if I am getting off my pivot, to come back to my solutions. And I can do that on my own with my guidance sometimes, and sometimes I need some support from others. So that's one of the things that you'll experience at the retreat, is that opportunity to reflect and grow and come back to, who am I? Because sometimes we forget who we are, right? We're used to doing things other people's way, or the way we've been taught to do it. And there is such a beauty and a power in really coming back to your authentic self and feeling that inside.
Yeah. Yeah, you're both inspiring me too about just that energy of, we're going to be talking later, but about our needs, right? And when we all know that we have material needs, right? We need to eat, we need to breathe, we need water, we need sleep, etc. We have spiritual needs as well. And those needs are so important. And it's incredible how we undervalue them, or we decide that, oh, I can put that aside because that's not quite as important as doing this. And I know that it's becoming much more conscious for people to that concept of, I need to take care of myself first before I take care of others. But it's the nuances of how we do that sometimes is where it falls through. It's like, do I wait until I'm desperate for that breath of fresh air, that space away from my kids, from my work, I go connect with nature, etc.? Do I wait until I'm like, oh my God, I can't do it anymore? Or do I proactively do it? And that is something to me that I've been really conscious of lately, is giving myself those times of just like Kristina said, the 2 minutes to go outside and to stare at the trees, breathe in fresh air, separate from all of the thoughts that are going on and come back to me. Do I proactively do that, or do I wait until it's beyond a need, it's a desperation? So the technique I wanted to share with you is it's just about centering and really creating consciously that energetic buffer for yourself. So for those of you who know how, you can do the cleansing technique that we've shown you before. For those of you that don't, just take a deep breath right now. Just close your eyes. Take another one, breathe in, slowly let it out. And then I want you to just take your hands in front of you, kind of like in the prayer position in yoga, and then just breathe in there. And slowly, as you're breathing out, just bring your hands in front of you until they start to separate, and then let them come all the way out and wide around you. And then bring them back in, kind of in a very gentle, flowing, Tai Chi kind of energy. And then bring them back up, and now just bring it up a little bit. And back together. And now higher, like a rainbow, an arc around above you. Okay, and then just do that one more time. Closing your eyes. And as I'm doing this, I just visualize almost like I'm creating a waterfall of energy pouring out of my hands, out around me, a fountain of energy up over me, up back around me. And just do that for yourself until you feel that calm and that centeredness inside. Allowing yourself to breathe and just really being in that space. And then when you're done, I almost even just stand there and feel the fountain pouring over me, just washing down, so it's just clearing the energy all around. Okay, I think I'm going to pass it along now to Melissa to talk about the next section of our retreat.
Yes, so the next section of the Being Unlimited retreat is find and live your unique life purpose. And I find that life purpose is a term that can be misunderstood. You know, we we're so programmed in our society to look outside of ourselves that people start to look out there for their purpose. What is the career I'm supposed to be doing? Or where do I fit out there? And there's no doubt that that is a piece of it that's important. But what a lot of people kind of miss or don't even realize that they're missing is that you have a unique spiritual purpose. And in the Way Showers College, we call that your spiritual thrust. It's a way of just describing the unique energy that emanates from you, your skills, your talents, your uniqueness, the effect of people feel when they're around your energy vibration. Because remember, you are energy. And so your thrust is the way that that emanates from you, like the rays of the sun going out and penetrating and being of service to others and to yourself. So one of the things that you're going to experience at the retreat is to learn your unique thrust. And what does that feel like? What does that look like? How does that play out so that everything that you're involved in becomes an expression of your unique spiritual purpose, rather than just that sort of more empty feeling of what am I supposed to do out there in the world? When you find this match between your spiritual and your material goals and purpose, there is a feeling of fulfillment that naturally occurs, a growth. You know, you hear this sort of cliche of people saying, you know, oh, the ultimate is that excitement of, I can't wait to get out of bed in the morning because I love what I'm doing so much. To me, that is what happens when you find that match between your spiritual thrust, your uniqueness from inside, and what you're doing out there in the world. And then just being of service to people. So this is a new concept for a lot of people. We're going to spend some time, you know, clarifying that for yourself, and also like how you can team up with others to be that unique expression as well. Do you guys have anything to add on that section? Sondra, you want to go ahead?
Yeah, I think that the thing that's coming to me is that just how, you know, again, the energy of the needs that we were talking about, it's incredible how we all have our own uniqueness, right? And the desires that we have are all connected with that unique thrust that we have. It's part of our path and our expression of that path. So our desires are connected with our needs, which are connected with our thrust and our purpose. And again, so to really honor that, to really, you know, not pass off, you know, not say, oh, well, that's just a flippant desire, or that there's really a core there when we're really tapped in to ourselves. So coming back to, which is why we start there, right? Coming back to, if I'm tapped into that real me, then I can connect in with that thrust and that essence and really honor and trust and pursue and allow my desires and my needs to be fulfilled.
Yeah, desire is a really important part of purpose. And that was a big thing that I learned a few years back, because I was so used to just denying what I wanted. When I really realized that what I really want is the pathway to my purpose, it's like, it shows again why that loyalty to self is important. Because if I'm doing everything for everybody else, or looking out there, you know, I'm really going to miss just fulfilling that desires. That's a soul moves by desire, and that gives you your direction. So it's one of the things that we're going to clarify for sure during the retreat, which is a great segue to the Create Your Miracles section, if you're ready, Kristina.
Yeah. So coming back full circle to, you know, returning to you and the power that we carry within us. We create our reality. I create my reality. So if I want something different, then I need to do something different. And Create Your Miracles is all about manifestation, and really need to know what are your spiritual needs. Like Sondra was sharing about spiritual needs. And if you know what you want, then you really need to sit with what is the need behind that. Because a want is a material thing. A need is on the spiritual level. Like, how is it going to enhance your life? How is it going to, is it in alignment with my heart's desire? Is it really my need? Sometimes we pick up wants that are other people's. So again, the techniques that we'll share with you will help you keep cleansed and coming back to the real me, the real you. And we manifest from the subconscious mind. So another reason why it's so important to continuously be healing things that we experience that may not be pleasant, sitting with it. How you heal it is you sit with it. You allow yourself to experience it, to feel it, to release it. If you suppress it, which is resistance, like, oh, I don't want to feel that, that was not good, or I don't need to be thinking that way, so I'm going to go over here. That's suppressing, and it suppresses into the subconscious mind, and that's where you're manifesting from. So, you know, a common theme. Why do I keep attracting the same people in my life? You know, I want X kind of person as my partner. Okay, well, great. Have you healed it? Are you still drawing in the energy from maybe your environment when you were a childhood? I mean, this stuff can be lifetimes of stuff. And if you suppress stuff, it's there in the subconscious mind, even though you may feel like, oh, I'm thinking positively, I'm doing really well in my life, blah, 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 blah. And yet there's still this piece. Okay, well, then there's still a piece of healing that needs to happen on the subconscious level. And, you know, this is really, that's part of the key to manifesting, is uncovering and healing the resistance. You know, what is that? What is in there? So this treat will give you a space, and we'll talk about it in a little bit, but you will have your own private room. Okay. So really allowing you guys the space to be with yourselves. Okay. And bring in what is, really standing out for you. What can you work on in your own individual time? Really feeling into what is your fulfillment? You know, how can you embody your beingness and really bring that forward? And we'll be doing, you know, a lot of other activities too. So there will be some heart opening stuff that we'll do with yoga and other healing stuff that we'll bring into the space for you. And that will all just help nurture manifesting my miracles. And it's a feeling level. And that's where, I mean, that's why when you suppress things, it's stored. And when you heal, it's released. And then your feeling part, your feeling nature is enhanced to the real you. And we manifest on the feeling level. Melissa, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, what I was just thinking as you were sharing is that the flow of our retreat is set up in a very mindful way, where, you know, we live our lives and we go, oh, I want this in relationships, or I want this in my business and things. And if it's not coming to you, you can feel like you're hitting a brick wall. And all the sections that lead up to the Create Your Miracles, really clarifying and manifesting what you want in your life, will help you to kind of release whatever is blocking that flow. Because the truth is, we are powerful energy, and we can put something out there and receive it very easily. But it's like Kristina was saying, the subconscious things might get in the way. So with the return to you, it's like, is that what you really, really want? Or is it what you think you should want, or what other people want? Right? So that's an important piece of the manifesting. Releasing the blocks and resistance. We can hold beliefs subconsciously that are actually pushing away what we want, instead of drawing it to us. So you can heal some of that. And then the unique life purpose is like, if you have a niche in life, and if what you're saying that you desire to manifest is nothing to do with what you came to do, then it's going to be more challenging for you to draw it in. So you are a magnet of attraction, drawing experiences and things to you. But there's a process of really getting your energy clear and balanced that we are going to take you through in this retreat, so that you can just manifest those desires more easily. And we're always learning and growing in the process. So we're always attracting growth experiences as well. And that's important to acknowledge.
That energy of abundance, right? I think is so important to just bring out is that, our miracles oftentimes, especially right now, I don't know about for you, but like Melissa touched upon, sometimes there are things I just need to let go of right now, that I had some material goals that I wanted to accomplish, et cetera, et cetera. And and I have to trust that they're still there and that the timing is there, but that I really need to feel inside abundant. I need to feel free. I need to feel connected. All of those are all spiritual needs, right? So I either can proactively do that or I can reactively try to do that. And that is a real key to manifesting materially as well. But for me, it's that energy of how do I feel inside? That is the critical component. And everything that we're talking about, the releasing the resistance, a lot of times it's really just immersing. That's one of the things about the retreat, is immersing myself in that energy. Because I've done a lot of personal development growth practices throughout my life, right? I still need to go and immerse myself and regroup in an energy like that. It's critical for me, because it's just, life is life, and I can do it to a certain extent, but having that experience on a regular basis for me, it's profound. So let's talk about the retreat, and then we can talk about any other specific things we want to add, but I want to get to the retreat itself and the details of it. Melissa, can you share about that?
Yes, so the Being Unlimited retreat is happening November 5th through 8th, 2020. It's being hosted at a retreat center called the COD Ranch, which is in Oracle, Arizona. You would fly into either Phoenix or Tucson to get there. It's all inclusive, so all your meals are included, the 3 nights of accommodation at the retreat center. And if you look on the website innersoulretreats.com, you'll see some pictures of the accommodation in the center. It's the venue is just, we all agreed so quickly, it's like perfect for the environment that we want to provide for these retreats, where it's very welcoming, it's cozy, it's abundant. And the cool thing, like Kristina said, you're going to get your own private room there, which has not been the case previously in these retreats. So for everything included, it's only $8.95 for your investment. And that's a early bird pricing that's good until October 15th. So you'll want to take advantage of that if you can. After that, it's going to go up $100 or more. And we are also including in that the yoga sessions, probably body work and healing stuff to fully integrate what you're learning and growing from, as well as some free time sessions where we'll go out and have some hikes or adventures. And all of that is kind of providing you the space to, bring in the feminine energy of receiving and regrouping what you have been doing in the more structured workshop sessions. So, and I think one of the best parts of this is, we're all under pressure right now more than ever, right? And so it gives you this place to connect with like-minded men and women, to regroup, to share, to outflow, all of those things that are our spiritual needs that is always needs. And with what's going on with social distancing and all that stuff, that's a reality right now, it's become even more challenging to meet those needs. So we really felt like it was an important timing, even with everything going on, to really just bring some people together to have this experience so that you can go back to your environment feeling solid, feeling clear, and able to bring in more of what you truly desire in your life. So the details are at innersoulretreats.com. If you have questions, you can email info@innersoulretreats.com and reach out to any of us personally. If you have a personal connection with us already, we would love to just have a chat with you as well. We're happy to do that. but we're excited. And this is the third one that we've done, so we know that this material is really transformational. It has been for several people already. So I think each time we do this, it's just going to take it to a deeper level of growth for everybody.
Yeah, the other thing that I would just encourage, especially just again talking about, we're not immune to the things that are going on in the world right now, and we all had the three of us really get together and really tune into whether it was the right time to offer this at this time in this manner, and we were just really tuning into that there was a strong need to do it, and so I encourage you, as you're tuning in for yourself, just to put everything aside and just really tune into if there's a need for you, and the rest will unfold and will line up for you to get what it is that you need. With that, I want to say thank you all for letting us share, and looking forward to answering any questions any of you might have, and to seeing hopefully some of you soon.
See you soon, everybody.
Bye.